You know what? Let's go back a bit. In the 1960s, Hanna-Barbera produced The Flintstones, a primetime animated series taking place in the Stone Age, loosely based on the 40s sitcom The Honeymooners. Running for 6 seasons, it became the longest running animated series in history, which kinda seems like a joke now. The Flintstones was the fucking GOAT. While rooted heavily in its oh so very goddamn obvious Honeymooners tropes, horrible puns, and beyond vulgar innuendo.
I'm gonna get something that makes me look tall. How about another head? Another one? What do I need 3 of them for?
If you deadass don't get that, you have no business watching any of my videos. Besides those things, it was really likable and well written, telling a lot of stories and playing with its setup. But at the core, especially when Pebbles came around season 3, you really got the idea that these people were a family and cared about each other, which is, I gotta say, a first in animation at the time. I mean, before this, all cartoon characters did before were hit each other on the head, racist jokes, wear ties and collars that somehow changed the color of their fur between their head and their body, picnic baskets, oh no, odd jobs, and the look at the bears, look at the bears, look at the bears. Oh. The Flintstones had heart, while sort of sappy compared to today's standards with gay, lesbian, space rocks mourning over the loss of their manslaughtering leader, or honestly, this show doesn't have any sad moments. I'm just sad that it exists. At the time, this was new. You cared about these characters as much as you did those in All in the Family, or the spin-off to All in the Family, or the other spin-off to All in the Family, or the spin-off to the spin-off of All in the Family, or that time Charles Bronson replaced Andy Griffith on the Andy Griffith Show. That was great, right? Other people tried to do primetime animation to like meh effects.
That bird can't just sit on my car forever.
Maybe.
Jesus Christ, you fat fuck. Think you could get any louder? This sort of just stopped after Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, which is probably the blandest looking show I've ever seen in my fucking life. This is not a stylized opening. All 40 something episodes look like this. Look at that. Oh shit! Fuck, is everybody alright? Are you all okay?
My back hurts.
Okay, everybody but Jimmy. Nobody likes a punk bitch, Jimmy. Suck it up.
There's nothing on earth like a genuine, bona fide, electrified 6-car monorail.
Around 20 years later, the new developing Fox network went, hey, people like those Simpsons shorts from that actress that played Little Lulu that one time show. Let's give them a half-hour special. And Matt Groening went, nope. Fuck that. We're going to series. 28 seasons, 598 episodes, feature film grossing over $500 million, and a dope-ass theme park ride. The Simpsons is now the biggest animated series of all time. What started as a show that had no hope to be picked up for a second season became a worldwide phenomenon. The Simpsons, no bias included, became one of the most important works of art in probably American history. I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. There are books written on this shit.
Mono, don't!
There's no denying that The Simpsons is important to Western animation, inspiring show after show, some of which ain't even animated, and reviving the idea of the primetime cartoon. Not only that, but cartoons to actually curse on air. I want you to understand that literally almost never happened until this show came out. Boondocks demographic? You're welcome. Season 4 sucks. Okay, now we can start for real.
It seems today.
The people over at channel Frederator dropped a video titled 11 Ways Family Guy is Better Than The Simpsons, and me, being curious, clicked on the video to see how it was. It's terrible. But the reason it's terrible is that it actually seems to ignore every attribute that actually makes an animated series good. And I know I shouldn't be getting all worked up over a channel that still thinks Fairly Odd Parents is worth funding. No, don't look at that. That's for next time. Instead, this video essay is like a response, if you will, to the list by Frederator. Please let me know if any of my analysis sounds as ignorant as theirs.
It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times. You stupid monkey.
I'm not mad because the video says Family Guy is better than The Simpsons. In actuality, that aspect is highly subjective and there could be a whole debate about it. No, I'm mad because it completely and childishly ignores the whole idea of what makes a show good. Like, there's a whole segment in this shit where they say Family Guy is better because it has edgier humor, which I don't really understand. That's like saying the Eric Andre show is better than both of these because they showed Jeanette McCurdy's nudes on air.
In all fairness, they weren't nudes.
We have to have a picture of one of your nudes right here. And I think it's tasteless. I can't believe you did that.
While reviewing and comparing shows built around comedy, people always tend to look at the weight of the joke more than the intent. Meaning, if something is funny, it's not funny because it tries to offend. It's funny because it's clever and it works, and as the years go on, Family Guy is doing less and less of the latter. The jokes in Family Guy are, more often than not, shock value jokes, which is okay. Some of animation's best does this to great effect, but it all depends on the characters that we're hearing these jokes from. I refuse to get in front of my computer monitor and lie to you and say that Family Guy's characters aren't memorable, because they are. The problem comes into how they're all placed. The reason I did the whole history lesson spill in the beginning is because it's important to understand primetime animation from its roots, being that it was always understood that you get more sophisticated throughout the stories of all of the successful ones from the shows with characters that you care about. I can laugh at Homer for being a babbling idiot over and over again, but that's because I know him and I've seen him grow. When you see your characters in emotional, vulnerable states, it becomes more easier to laugh with them. That's like if you've never seen Steven Universe and you go to your friend's house and they put on some random episode and you notice your friend laughing at shit that obviously isn't funny to you. That's because they know the characters and their personalities and they care about them. Instead of laughing at the characters, you're laughing with them, which is something The Simpsons perfected. We always got a bold, clear indication that this was a family that cared about one another, and their actions get more hysterical the more time we spent with them. I've learned over time that Family Guy doesn't care if you care about their characters, at least not anymore, which is, in all honesty, completely fine. They used to do some stuff that shows that the family cares about one another and still try to every few episodes, which usually results into the stories feeling ignorant and sloppy, but the mean-spirited nature outweighs that, and that's a problem. When you compare it to something also really mean at core like Rick and Morty or South Park, it works because everyone isn't a dick. There's always someone to tell Cartman or Randy or Rick that they're being an asshole, even when the audience is occasionally on their side. And oddly enough, these shows even take the time to make these characters sympathetic. But on Family Guy, every character seems to have a battle with one another to see who can do each other the dirtiest, and it's beyond the definition of tiring. It's different when it's in skits or internet cartoons, but it's been like 15 seasons worth of characters just getting nastier and nastier to one another, and everything Family Guy does is not a joke. I know people who think that and use that to its defense because of how the series presented and carried itself since 1999, but like I just said a few sentences ago, it does try to do things with the characters to make you feel, but they're so forced. They force harsh melodrama into probably 1 or 2 stories a season, and it always seems to come across as mean-spirited or hollow. That episode where Quagmire goes off on Brian for a whole uninterrupted monologue, or when Brian died, or when Meg went off on the whole family for how they treat her throughout the show, just so she can go, oh shit, they need to belittle me and make me feel less of a person? Let me just do that and put my happiness in jeopardy just so I can make them happy. All of these moments are forced and executed horribly. And as for the last one, it butchers the whole idea of a message in just 1 line of dialogue from Meg.
It's a theory, I guess.
I mean, it's not ideal, but it's an important piece that maybe it's just my lot in life to provide. Maybe if I feel bad, they don't have to.
A character is upset because they feel unappreciated, and it's shown that hiding their emotions is the key to a successful life. This is a very troubled message, one that The Simpsons even corrected in their first season.
Lisa, I apologize to you. I was wrong. I take it all back. Always be yourself. You want to be sad, honey? Be sad. We'll write it out with you. And when you get finished feeling sad, we'll still be there. From now on, let me do the smiling for both of us.
Oh my god, and the morality. A point I always make about Family Guy that usually makes me lose respect for the people who make it is how they tell stories based around sensitive subject matter. The topics they choose are not the problem, but the way they are told is with the utmost ignorance. Family Guy doesn't understand that some things just don't make sense morally, which is probably a testament to why they shouldn't even try. There's the Screams of Silence episode where Quagmire's sister is getting beaten on by her boyfriend Jeff, and instead of elaborating on how much of a dick Jeff is, or just not touching the subject matter at all, they literally paint it as if it's the victim's fault for staying with this guy. This woman lives in fear, but all everyone says is, why do you stay with him? Have you no shame? Why don't you just call the police? Oh yeah, better yet, why doesn't anyone around there call the police? They make us witness so much of this abuse.
Can't you just arrest the guy?
I can't arrest Jeff unless Brenda files a formal complaint with the police.
Gee, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Wait, hold on. Then how come you're present while she's being abused in public? Better yet, what is that they said in Baby Got Black?
I got cameras in every room of this house.
Well, we obviously have footage on him beating on her. Can't do anything then? Oh, but you can help Quagmire kill him though, right?
The person I see before me now is just a punching bag. And I call you person and not woman because a woman is a strong, beautiful, vibrant creature. A woman embraces life. A woman makes choices to make her life better. Sadly, the fact that you are with Jeff proves to me that you have made a choice to make your life worse.
This is literally one of the worst lines of dialogue in animation history. Instead of seeking out actual help, they make Quagmire's sister feel even worse than how she's being treated. And it's awful because this character has no other personality trait other than she's being abused, which is actually hard for us to identify with and just makes the episode so painful to sit through.
So what? Peter, a woman can't sexually harass a man.
Why not?
I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, guys like being touched by women. It's not harassment if you like it.
Peter Asman is another episode that butchers a serious topic, being sexual harassment, and it does it by saying that it only exists from one perspective. Peter is being sexually harassed by his boss, and Lois spends the whole episode laughing at him and telling him that it's impossible, instead of, taking action for the fact that someone's actually harassing her husband. Oh, but no, that's not funny. Instead of Lois learning a lesson, we get a strange end resolution about suicide and self-worth that really comes off as hollow and ignorant, since literally no satire is given for any of these topics. And it's a strange world that we live in where suicide, sexual harassment, and clinical depression are all used as plot devices for a bunch of just sick, mean-spirited jokes. See, The Simpsons did an episode about sexual harassment, and it was called Homer Badman. And instead of giving us a cold-cut antagonist in that episode, we get a more realistic, open-ended interpretation. The whole situation is a giant misunderstanding, and the only real enemy is the media, who automatically takes the alleged victim's side without hearing the other party. And if you're in that situation and you're not guilty, well, it's enough to make you want to go and live under the sea.
Homer, that's your solution to everything, to move under the sea. It's not gonna happen.
And this is not a video saying that The Simpsons is flawless, because there's a bunch of really shitty Simpsons episodes, but nothing that generally makes you uncomfortable like some of the Family Guy episodes I mentioned earlier.
I can say definitely that even the worst Simpsons episodes have good stuff in them.
Mind you, I'm not one of those people that's so hard on The Simpsons for declining in quality over the years. The last few seasons have had some real genuine good episodes in it, but I'd be lying if I said that there wasn't a few stinkers. Like Codependence Day starts out okay, with a few funny Star Wars prequel jokes here and there, but then has Homer frame Marge for a DUI and has her sent to rehab. Then he goes and apologizes and she's literally only mad for like 30 seconds and then realizes she can't live without him. Oh, yeah, that's cute and all, but he got you locked up and put in rehab. You get a Simpsons episode here and there that makes you stop and wonder why the episode was allowed to be made with such a jumbled story, much like a lot of Family Guy episodes. But even then, you're still able to get a decent laugh.
No listening. You hear me? No. You just don't learn, do you?
And yeah, you can even get a laugh out of a bad Family Guy.
Yeah, while he was watching clown porn. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby, you make me so horny.
The Frederator video constantly uses Family Guy's ability to belittle handicapped people to brag about why it's such a better show.
Even handicapped people, like a mentally handicapped, which is mentally handicapped.
Jesus Christ, these handicapped jokes are that funny to y'all? I guess that explains what happened to Pelswick, huh?
Frederator loves you.
They also talk about how The Simpsons doesn't take full advantage of the fact that it's animated because they don't have sharp cutaway gags or background characters having staring contests. Meanwhile, literally 20 seconds later in the exact same video, they go on and bitch about the art styles, saying that people aren't really yellow. Gee, wait, yeah, okay. Let me just go consult my fucking talking dog.
Mishka, I love you. I love you.
Wait, I don't have a dog. I can give them the whole thing about Family Guy episodes being less predictable, for better or for worse. Like, most episodes have the formula of the unrelated to the rest of the whole episode first act, the see how many cutaway gags we can do second act, and the very abrupt episode endings. But still, they do a lot of really interesting stuff, like the Back to the Pilot episode, which is done beautifully, and all of those Road 2 joints. But I'll be damned if Family Guy doesn't have some really infuriating gimmicks.
Yikes! Looks like I need a distraction. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Side note, I never thought I'd hear someone say the word snooze over one of the best performances in Western animation history. Jesus, they almost killed that fucking scene for me. Oh shit! Fuck! Oh my god. They say something in here about the characters being solid too. Like, all of Family Guy's characters, aside from the family, were originally one-off joke machines. Like, this is deadass Quagmire and Cleveland's first appearance.
Hey, is my kid over here? Forget it, false alarm.
Okay, yeah, so who the fuck are y'all? This whole topic is open-ended, but when comparing the two shows, I'd have to say that The Simpsons is better because it knows exactly what it is and succeeds at it and broke new ground. It looks like that's what Family Guy tried to do, but falls flat because it has an identity and still tries to talk about things it's obviously ignorant about. The material doesn't come off as satirical, more like the little cousin that tries so very hard to say that they're smart. And while I make fun of it in all of my videos, I can't say I hate Family Guy. I just hate when it becomes offensive just for being offensive and not to make a point like South Park or Rick and Morty. Family Guy still has some of the best music I've ever heard in an animated series, an amazingly well acted voice act. While half the time I can't stand Seth MacFarlane, he knows how to write good music to set the tone for a scene.
Mean old moon, it must be fun.
The Simpsons is an amazing show sometimes, it's a pretty okay show sometimes, and it's a damn infuriating show sometimes. But that anger comes from how much we care and hold it close. It's not spawning from stiff animation, one-note characters, or complete ignorance from a writing staff trying to be deep. The heart in these characters is real, and that's why they're still around. And that's what primetime animation started out as. Smart and bright, with characters you invite into your life every week, with satire that shits on the world of the present while also being so accurate to our future is scary. Primetime animation is smart. I respect Family Guy for trying to be different, but it doesn't come close to the storytelling giants that saved the medium. Oh shit, where's Meg?
Oh, hey Meg, what have you been up to?